Greetings and blessings, everyone, and welcome to Lights for the Way podcast. I'm your host, James Thomas Devitt, and we are sponsored, as always, by the Blue Star Spiritual Group. Coming today is a beautiful, beautiful day outside. It's sunny as the view to the ocean is beautiful. It's a warm spring day. It's a wonderful day. Now, you know, we've been trying to cover a few different topics, and there's been some talk about things like Indigo children and Crystalline and yada yada yada. And so today, Anita Davies is joining me, and we're going to be talking about the working energies of the soul. How are you doing today, Anita?
I'm doing brilliant, thank you, James. And like Dunedin, North Canterbury is stunning today. There's not a cloud in sight, and it's just the most stunning day.
Well, here there is literally not a cloud in the sky, and I can assure you that I can see all the way to the horizon, and the ocean looks amazing. And by car, it's about 7 minutes to the beach from my house, so it is a little bit of a view, and really, really amazing today. So we were discussing the other day about these types of things, and you thought it would be a really great idea to do this for a show.
I did indeed.
So, with that in mind, take it away.
Okay.
What would you like to say?
Where do I start? The working energies of the soul. Our soul is so complex. Our very basic brain struggles to really understand the complexity of what we really are. The soul is the most amazing unit made of thousands of different complex energies. My story starts last year when I joined a group. It was the Empath and something group. They were a teaching group and a closed group. And a group on the whole I found to be quite informative and interesting. I did enjoy a lot of what they put out. I can't say that I always agreed with everything they put out, but I did enjoy it. And we have to understand that my truth is not everyone else's truth. One of the things that bothered me the most was the limitations that people put upon themselves by labeling themselves and putting themselves into little boxes. But not only did they do that, on some occasions they were putting themselves up on high pedestals. Now, my opinion of a pedestal is the higher you go, the further you have to come down and fall and land. When you get to my age, landing on your backside from that sort of height is not much fun.
It's probably also not very advisable either.
And it's not very practical, not unless you don't want something broken or very bruised and uncomfortable.
True.
So one day I was looking through their information and up popped a picture of Harry Potter, Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger. And underneath, and I can't remember in which order it was Rainbow, Indigo, Pure Crystalline. And I read what they had to say, which of course is the fairy tale stuff, the stuff everyone wants to hear, the very nicey-picey nice stuff. And I looked at the many comments, because these people, of course, do get a lot of followers. And that day I did pick on commenting on someone who was an administrator. And it was, wow, this is amazing. And she had said, I'm an indigo, my children are rainbow, my grandchildren are pure crystalline. And there are people who are saying things like, wow, I wish I was like you. Oh my goodness, how did you become like this? Oh, aren't you amazing? And I'm thinking, oh dear, because the person who had put this out didn't really understand what they were talking about. That to me I thought was very, very sad. They didn't understand that they were talking about working energies. We have to be very practical about this, because our soul is a practical unit that functions at high capacity and very sophisticated capacity. So I'm always very cautious when I come in and make these remarks, because I have to understand that other people don't necessarily understand the level or receive the level of information I do. So I just said, I hope you don't mind my adding this into your information, but did you know these different facets about these energies? Are you aware? Well, I got a PM later on that day, and my goodness, I was told I was stupid, I was ignorant, I wasn't spiritual. I was spiritually ignorant, and I had insulted her and her whole family. And I was summarily removed from that site. She removed me immediately and told me never to even bother coming back again.
Wow, that's mind-blowing.
It was mind-blowing because they invite people to comment. They say they are wanting to teach people about their spirituality, and when somebody came in with information that she didn't agree with and she didn't really read it properly, I feel she actually skimmed the information, blew her stack, and then had a go at me. I think that's really sad.
Well, it is, and I mean, I gotta tell you, I mean, like Indigo children. Now, perhaps I am incorrect in this, and if I am, so be it. But if I, got this correct, I believe that one of the main people that came out with the term Indigo children was, in fact, Lee Carroll and Cryon. Now, he wrote a book on the Indigo children and everything like that, which is fine. It really is. I personally have never felt as though I was an Indigo or anything like that. I've actually kind of felt like the indication of Indigo and the Crystalline children and things like this, they were actually more geared or involved in more towards indicating like newer volunteers to the planet.
I think that would be very true. They are this generation of young ones coming through. They are, as you say, they are newer to the volunteers and the planet. But the interesting thing about Indigo children, and this is one of the things I brought out, is they often struggle with their spirituality. They are actually very, very deep people, and they're very, very deep thinkers. And they often have this inner turmoil about their spirituality. Now, I didn't think that was insulting.
Well, I mean, technically, that's not insulting.
No.
The bottom line is that some people take it, I mean, in all honesty, they take it the wrong way. And they think that they've got everything all geared towards whatever it is that they believe. And in truth, I mean, after thinking about it, and I mean, I have, truth be told, I have gone to several of the different events with Cryon and everything. I think Cryon has always been one of those one of a kind type beings, if you will. And although having said that, there are things that have come out with regards to Cryon that has changed a great deal. But to be honest with you, that's neither here nor there in the grand scheme of things. But the truth of the matter is the fact that, the more I look at it, the more I kind of feel almost like the whole the whole thing around, what am I trying to say here? It's like the whole thing around crystalline children and indigo children and rainbow children. And I mean, I got to be honest with you, when I hadn't actually heard of rainbow children until you mentioned it. So that's actually a new one on me. And I got to admit to you, I really, what I'm struggling here with, it just feels to me almost like we have this situation where it's just another way of creating separation between people.
Thank you. It is.
And that's just, it's like that's all it is. It's not real. It's not, it's almost like, what exactly are you wanting to achieve? What is it that you're wanting to acknowledge here? And that's what I keep coming up with. And I really, I don't know what the answer is to it, to be honest with you. But what I do know is the fact that we have a situation where we really need to figure out, if you will, what exactly is important and what isn't important. Because there is so many beings out there who are assisting in such beautiful ways. And yet we have this situation where people are fighting each other over who's right and who's wrong. And it's like this is getting to be utterly ridiculous.
I agree.
It's like, who the hell cares who's right and who's wrong? It's not about that, because one person's truth isn't somebody else's truth. As far as I'm concerned, there are two forms of native humans on the planet, and that's it. And that resides with in actual fact, that resides squarely with native humans as well as volunteers or starseed. And that's it. There is no other, there isn't anything else. And so this whole notion of, well, I'm an indigo child, or I'm a crystalline child, it's like, so what are you telling me, that the crystalline children are better than the indigo children, or what?
You've got it in a nutshell. In actual fact, what they're trying to tell you is they are better than everybody else.
I know, and it's like, no, you're not.
No, they're not, and they don't understand what they're actually talking about.
No, they don't.
No comprehension, not at all. So today I want to do a little bit of educating, because you know a lot about me, and you know exactly why I'm here, and educating is part of why I'm here in this lifetime.
Yes, I know. That is very true, yes.
So one of the energies I want to talk about today is the rainbow energy. Now, for all those who put themselves in the little box that says I'm a rainbow energy, I hate to bust the myth and upset them, but every single being on this planet uses the rainbow energy. There's not one person who can function on this planet without it. When the soul connects in, we know that it connects in by its etheric cord. Now, the information I have is that it connects into the cortex of the brain. This connects in pretty much not long after conception into the cortex, where the cortex area of the brain is, and then at birth the soul will come into the heart space and settle there for your lifetime. Now, within the soul there are many, many hundreds of energies. The rainbow energy, part of it splits and it becomes your chakra system. Everybody is a rainbow. So the chakra system, okay, we know of the 7 main chakras. It will split into the 7 main chakras. It will then split into the secondary chakras, which are above and below. Then it will split into the tertiary chakras, which are the very small ones, which reside right throughout our whole body in certain places. Then it actually extends from our body out to what we call the aura. So we're still seeing the rainbow. And I've had my photograph taken. I have this amazing rainbow of all these different colours. You can see them. I'm not sure what the camera is called. It's a spectrum camera of some sort that takes these amazing photographs. And then this amazing system connects straight through to spirit. And we don't actually understand just how important our chakra system is, how far it extends, and how sophisticated it is. And it is the rainbow energy. So every person on this planet uses the rainbow energy. Now, within our lifetimes, we have all these energies, and certain energies remain dormant. And when we come into a lifetime, depending on what we're going to be doing in this lifetime, a certain amount of energies will activate. And they can activate for many different reasons. We might be in a lifetime a person who is an untrustworthy person. There's an energy that activates up for that. It will be used during that lifetime. It may be used all of the lifetime. It might be used for part of a lifetime, and the person learns their lesson, and it becomes dormant. That energy may not be used again for another 600 years. For whatever reason, that energy comes up, and it needs to be used again. So the rainbow energy, there is another form of rainbow energy that is used, and that is the healer. And it's actually called the rainbow link. And we have a lot of energies with a link in it, because the rainbow energy is such a pure energy. It's one of the purest energies we have. That they vibrate at such a high level that if we don't have this link in it, it will distort. And when it distorts, it causes all sorts of problems. This is why I find it very frustrating when people call themselves a pure crystalline. Now, the pure crystalline is another high vibrating energy, extremely high. And to function, it must have the link in it. Those who are pure crystalline are actually on the autistic scale. And I suspect the day I got told I had been insulting, this is where the problem had come in. If you're going to call yourself a pure crystalline, you must understand what you're calling yourself.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, it's like it is a situation where a lot of people, they have it in their heads that it's this way or that way, and if you try and tell them anything different, it almost gets to a point where there's this mentality that, you know, you become almost the enemy. And it really is very sad, because people have this mentality, and what they don't realize, what they don't understand is, you know, as volunteers, as starseed to this planet, and I do understand and I do acknowledge the fact that there are those, whether you like it or not, that do not like or care for the word starseed for different reasons. But at the end of the day, it is a situation where we have this mentality, if you will, that, you know, we're in competition with each other. And it just drives me batty, because we're not in competition with each other. We've never been in competition with each other. You know, we're all here, every starseed, every volunteer is here for the same reason. That is the evolution of the native human population. The more that individuals collude and fight amongst themselves over labels and perceived, well, I'm this way and you're not this way, and I'm better than you are because I'm this way, that prevents us from actually doing what we're here to do. Do you know what I mean?
Totally know what you mean. It holds everyone back, because it isn't important and it's not what we're here for. And I find it very frustrating when people get a hold of these terms and they use it to their own advantage. To me, you're not using the path intended if you're going to put yourself up on a pedestal above others. We're here to actually fit in. We're not here to be in competition. We're not here to actually sit above any one other person, whether they be native human or whether they be starseed. We are here to actually fit in with everybody else and do a job. So this is one of the things I did channel about the rainbow. The rainbow link is the most beautiful and pure of all soul body energies. The rainbow link is the purest form of energy, comprised of extremely high vibrating energies which shimmer with a brilliance of colour. Within the rainbow lies the colours of our chakras. Because of this, the healer is enabled to balance out the chakras when using the energy of spirit. Those who use the rainbow energies are compassionate and caring. They have a genuine desire to help others. And this is not just healers as we think of in a holistic point of view. These are people who've shown kindnesses to other people. These are people who are carers. These are people who are doctors, nurses, people like Janice, who help other people with their counselling and their love. The rainbow energy is about love. It's what it is.
But think of it this way. Let's be honest here about something. Okay? If somebody is going to run, say, pure crystalline energy, and it is that high vibrational in its energy. Now, I'm sorry. I've been around for. I've been doing this for a very long time.
Mm.
If somebody was really running that level of energy, the one thing that you'd have to understand really quickly is they wouldn't be able to be physically on this planet because they wouldn't be able to handle it. Even if somebody was, let us say, autistic, that might mean that they're more in tune with the quantum field or whatever like that, but they still would not be able to physically be on this planet if they were running pure crystalline energy.
I see your point there, and I can only go by what I've channeled.
I understand that.
Yeah, and the information I have that says that if it's pure, it is distorted, it distorts. It is unable to function here as a pure energy as such.
But that's what I'm saying, though.
It has what they call a link, which modifies the energy so it can be used. So
yes, but it's not. Somebody could not be here as a pure crystalline entity.
Oh, no, not at all. No.
And you see, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
And the problem is that there are people out there who are going around saying that they are a pure crystalline energy, and they aren't, and they don't get it, and they don't realize that the whole point of even going there does the one thing that so many people are saying anyway that they're against. It creates separation.
It does create separation.
Just like you were saying that there was somebody who made the comment about, oh, well, I wish I had that, making it an indication that the person that is saying that they have it is more special than anybody else. And this is part of the problem, is this bend of separation that is occurring when there is no, it's funny, you mentioned about Harry Potter. And I have to admit that I've watched a couple of Harry Potter movies in the last couple of days. And in the second one, the Chamber of Secrets movie, Hermione Granger is called a mudblood, which according to the show means that she's not pure blood. And it's interesting because when this was reported to the character known as Hagrid, he said, well, to be honest with you, there isn't anyone on the planet or anyone around, period, that is pure blood. It just doesn't exist. And so it's almost the same situation. It's like you can't have it. There's nobody that runs the pure energy of an indigo or anything else like that, for the simple reason it's a very high vibrational energy, and you wouldn't be able to handle being on the planet running that type of energy.
Not on the third dimension, no.
And that's my point. We are on the third dimension.
On the third dimension. But we do have these energies stored within. And of course, we don't bring all of us anyway. We do not completely come from, well, myself or yourself and where we are. The whole complete soul package does not just come in here. Part of us is left behind.
Well, to be honest with you, for anybody, they, when they come here, it's like there are a few who it's a little bit different for, but even so, nobody actually incarnates on this planet with their full soul in the physical body, because that just doesn't happen. So it is a situation whereby it basically comes down to that part of the soul that doesn't enter into the body normally becomes that individual's higher self.
That's correct.
And so when it becomes their higher self, that part of themselves has full memory of who they are, why they're here, all of these types of things. And it's also our first line of assistance that is provided by guides, shall we say, is the higher self. So at the end of the day, yes, it is what it is, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm of the mindset that people cannot. Too many people are trying to make out that they are different or more special than everybody else, and this is just one more situation along those lines, if you know what I mean.
It is indeed. And as I say, the soul is so sophisticated. It's an amazingly sophisticated unit. And I have got some of the energies here that may activate. I think normally we'll have about 5 or 6 energies actually activated, working together, working for you in a lifetime. You may deactivate one partway through a lifetime and another one will activate up. It's just part of what powers us through our lifetime. We would have chosen what we're going to do in our lifetime and what energies we will be using in that lifetime.
True.
So the rainbow I have talked about today. So there is no special person out there who has this amazing rainbow aura. And I often hear it termed the rainbow aura as well. I am a rainbow aura. You are all rainbow auras. Everybody has the rainbow energy within their chakras, which radiates out from your body and beyond. But there are other energies, as there is the crystalline, there is the pure crystalline energy. And when I talk about that, it is not, as you were saying, I am pure crystalline and this is what makes me up. This is just an energy that activates. And because it is a highly strung energy, if it doesn't have the link in it, it produces autism. But somebody who's chosen the path of an autistic is going to activate this energy up to power them through their lives. That's how it works. There's golden ray, purple ray, blue ray, diamond aura light, twin flame, which we've all heard about, and that's another one that drives me a bit nuts. But anyway, we'll carry on. from there, soul energy, which is actually similar to twin flame, just doesn't burn quite so brightly. Sunshine ray, turquoise aurelius, crystalline aurelius, topaz ray, green ray, blue by aurelius, crystal, gold crystal link, orange aurelius, then the macabre body, which is another unfortunately sadly misunderstood energy as well. And that these are only just some of them, and some that I've channeled out, and I know there's many, many more than that. The other one that bothers me is the macabre body, and I've come across people who are working so hard to activate the macabre body. Well, I've got sad news for all of you. Those of you who have star seeds, your macabre body is already activated, because they're trying to get to the Christ consciousness, the fifth dimension, and I know people will turn themselves inside out to activate their macabre body. If you activate your macabre body in this dimension, then you are in trouble, because if you actually manage to do that, you're probably going to drive your mind over the edge. It actually can completely cause major mental problems. It is not meant to actually be activated on the third dimension.
No, and I mean, it's like they have this mentality. And I mean, I do get it. I really do get it, because we have this situation where, in essence, the problem is you've got all of these individuals who have come here, who are volunteers or starseeds, and they have come here, and during this process of awakening that so many have been going through over the course of the last 40 or 50 years, one of the things that occurs is these people realize, oh, wow, you know what? I really feel like I don't belong on this planet. You know, I feel like I come from somewhere else. And I hear it a lot. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, I have the same feelings myself. But what ends up happening is, and this is one of the problems, is the fact that so many people have this mentality that they, you know, they have to find their way home, because it's like they don't quite realize they're actually here to assist in the evolution of the native human population. They think it's about them personally ascending. And I mean, I've even heard this not only from those that are classified as spiritual people, I've even heard this from radio show hosts. I have heard this from government whistleblowers, you know, all different types of people. And it's because they've heard this from those who are classified as in the know. And what ends up happening, but people actually realize that they are actually, they're walking down the wrong path, shall we say.
I totally agree. Very sadly, someone remarked to me recently when I made a comment on one of the blogs that it was only important for those who were to ascend to work towards it. It did not matter what happened to the rest of the population. Those who were meant to ascend would ascend, and those who were not meant to ascend would just stay behind here. And it really wasn't important. And this was a spiritual person.
And it just drives me bananas, because, you know, if you think about it, starseeds and volunteers, they come from planets that are in the fifth dimension or higher. What is the one thing that they all have in common?
They're already ascended.
Correct. They've already ascended. It's not like they're you know, they're here to. It's kind of like the fact that they're not here to discover unconditional love. They already come from a place of unconditional love. You know, it's not about them personally, and this is part of the problem, because they have this mentality that they think it's about them, when in truth it's not about them at all. It's about those that are here, and so we run across this time and time again. Now, personally, I want to make sure that the channelings that you've done here is available. And so I would really, really recommend that you post that in the Blue Star Spiritual Group page, so that it can be shared out and people can have a look at it. And I'm sure that there will be those people who will grumble, and of course they won't have the cojones, shall we say, to actually say anything or comment about it. But we can annoy some people. But at the end of the day, it's also about getting the truth out there to people.
It is indeed.
And this
It's
is
a
this
great
is
idea.
this is what's so vitally important, because at the end of the day, we are all here for a much higher purpose, and it's a purpose that is so vitally important. And it's also important that people realize and understand that they are part of something that is truly magnificent in so many different ways.
Indeed it is. It is very profound.
Now, while we're here, let's do one final thing here. The channeling that you did around this, I feel, is very vitally important and very good in all of that. But if there was something around this, in all honesty, that you personally felt people really needed to hear more than anything else, what would it be?
Don't define yourself by labels. Labels are unimportant. Don't put yourself into a self-limiting box which defines your life. These energies are not actually really important. Your soul will power itself regardless of what it's called or what you are using. You will carry on living your life, whether you are an indigo child, you consider yourself a rainbow, a crystalline, no matter what, you will still walk your path and do the job you're meant to do. Don't self-limit yourself by a label.
And just one more thing on that, for a lot of people who do they limit themselves by these classifications, by these this mentality that, well, I'm special because I'm this way or I'm that way or whatever it might be. The bottom line is this: if you go in with that mentality, you might actually find yourself in a situation where you end up not actually doing what you're here to do. And then the only thing that's going to come of that, the only thing that's going to really happen from that, is the fact that you're going to end up, when you leave this life, being really upset at yourself.
That is just so true. And I believe that many spirit do that on a regular basis, and then they're back to do it again.
Well, it depends, because you see, it's different now.
True.
Because you see, before, they would be back to do it again. But you see, now that we're finished with the phase 1 of Project Earth, it's a little bit different now.
There are some who will come back, and there are others who won't.
No. I mean, generally speaking, there will be many who will actually, to be honest with you, the majority of the starseeds and crystalline or the volunteers rather, they will be coming back, because it's some time before everyone is gone, shall we say. However, it is a situation that what they perhaps have been here to do in this incarnation, they won't need to be here to do in the next incarnation, because we have moved through that barrier of the initial. We have completed the initial phase of Project Earth.
Understood.
Yeah. So anyway, so I hope everyone's enjoyed this today. It's we enjoy doing the show. We're hopefully coming out with information that is intriguing and is eye-opening for you in different ways. And Anita, I take it you'll get that posted.
I will get some information posted. It might be more than one posting. There's a reasonable amount of information there.
Oh, well, if it's even in like 3 or 4 postings, that's fine. It's just part of our purpose here is to educate and to let people know what the actual truth is. So with that in mind, we wish to give you all our blessings and love. Hopefully you'll enjoy the remainder of your day, evening, or night, and we will see you on the backside. Now, we would like to take this moment to thank everyone for tuning in and participating in our podcast. And if you like the show, give us a like, leave a comment, and hit the subscribe button. So the final word today will be from Anita. Everyone, blessings and have a good day.
Thank you very much for listening. It's always a pleasure to be here to help you in any way we can, and enjoy the rest of your day.